Hello everyone and welcome to the piece of shit that is the Sniper slash Gunslinger 3.0. Oh, what the fuck has happened? What the fuck are they thinking is what I have to say for the Gunslinger and the Sniper, or for the Agent in general. Let's start with the biggest piece of shit news that doesn't really concern the Gunslinger or the Sniper. It's the fact that fucking operatives and scoundrels are losing Orbital Strike and Freighter Flyby. We're losing two of the coolest looking abilities in the game. Why? Why are we losing them? That's fucking bullshit. So, if you don't know, Orbital Strike is a sniper only ability now. That is just bullshit. What the hell are we meant to do as a healer when there's not a lot of damage going out? There doesn't need to be a big healing phase, but there's nothing for us to do now. There's fuck all. Oh, Frag Grenade's gonna still do AoE damage. For the snipers, get this, Frag Grenade is now a single target ability. It's not a grenade then, is it? You know, it doesn't do splash damage. What's the point in that? At least change it to something different, at least, if you're gonna do that. Please, for the love of God, change that Frag Grenade at least. Stop calling it Frag Grenade. It's not a Frag Grenade, it doesn't fragment into pieces then if it's a fucking Frag Grenade. Oh, God damn it. It'll still deal area damage to weak and standard enemies. Well, it's still kind of useful, but if you're fighting multiple bosses, then it's going to be a bit useless. So again, it's kind of annoying. So it still is going to do a little bit of AoE damage, but Orbital Strike is gone. Fucking Orbital Strike. I'm annoyed. What are we going to do now? We could still use Frag Grenade. What do we better get? We better get a shit ton of fucking cleave to make up for this. But, you know, you were healing and the group wasn't taking any damage, so you thought, fuck it, I'll throw out an Orbital Strike. You know, as an operative or scoundrel healer. I'll throw one of them out, because, you know, it's fire and forget. You know, I just throw it out. A, it did the reasonable amount of damage. B, it looked fucking cool. It was one of the coolest looking fucking things in the game. I don't know why we're losing it. That's bullshit. It's utter fucking bullshit. So let's move on to the other changes. Evasion is no longer going to be a purge now. It's going to increase our melee and range defense by 200% for 3 seconds. Kind of shitty, really. I like the fact that we had a 100% chance to dodge certain attacks. That was awesome. That was pretty cool. So kind of shitty that changes. So let's move on to the base class. What are we getting? Energy tanks. We're getting the maximum energy increased by 10. We're getting steady shots, which increases the damage dealt by snipe, lethal shot, series of shots, and the new penetrating blast by 5%. Again, this was something everybody took anyway, so again, it's just getting baked into the class. Fair enough. So the other thing is ambush is only going to be available to the Marksmanship snipers. Don't give a shit, really. It was the only spec you ever used, ambush. The problem with ambush was it didn't do enough damage once you got a series of shots, so it was kind of useless. You used ambush until you got a series of shots. Series of shots was much better, as it did way more damage for its cast time, or its channel time, so you kind of just replaced that in your rotation with series of shots. You never used ambush in any other spec other than Marksmanship. Certainly in lethality you didn't use it at all, just because series of shots would do more damage over the channel time than it would, because I think they channeled for the cast time and the channel time are about the same, but series of shots did more damage. That's why you picked that over ambush. It was kind of useless, really, in that one. So, Laze Target is no longer going to be a auto crit on snipe as well. So Laze Target causes your next ambush, explosive probe, or cull to critically strike its target. Interesting. And Shatter Shot has been changed. It doesn't provide the armor debuff anymore. right now. So it used to lower the armor by 20%. It still reduces the healing received. So let's move on quickly to Marksmanship. What are we getting? We're getting a passive that increases the critical chance every time snipe is used, which stacks up to 3 times. And it has a 15-second duration, and it's refreshed with the use of snipe. Using snipe pretty much on cooldown, aren't you, for Marksmanship? I haven't played that for a while. I know you get the instant one when you go into cover. You get the insta-cast snipe. So I guess, you know, we're going to be keeping that up, certainly, because snipe is one of our core abilities of Marksmanship. The other new one increases the critical chance and damage bonus of suppressive fire, ambush, and ambush. So yeah, you're going to be using suppressive fire was the AoE, ambush was, again, ambush you're going to be using as part of that rotation. You did get the little boost to ambush when snipe critically hit, but we can no longer guarantee a crit now. I guess I'll be stacking a bit more crit now, because with Lay's target you could always guarantee a critical snipe. You would always open, I think, with after your orbital strike, you would duck into combat, you would duck into cover, you'd fire off an instant critical snipe, you would be Lay's target crit snipe, and then you'd have the ambush, which was half its cast time a critical snipe did. So again, that's going to be interesting how it changes things up, but it does seem fairly familiar. The only thing that we're getting new is penetrating blast, which will effectively replace our shatter shot. So it's just basically a series of shots with with the armor debuff. So it's going to give an armor debuff. Sunder targets of their armor rating reduced by 20% for 45 seconds. So it's similar to shatter shot, really. So that they're just moving shatter shot into marksmanship. So it's basically a series of shots. It is going to share a cooldown, so it's going to replace series of shots. The next one is engineering. Now I have been leveling a gunslinger as saboteur, and I really don't like this spec. It's so awkward and annoying, but they are making big changes to this. So EMP discharge will now deal damage to the enemy. Deals energy damage to the enemy affected by your interrogation probe, and stuns the enemy for 2 seconds if it's also affected by your plasma probe. So it's going to do damage. Of course, EMP discharge just refreshed cooldowns. The big problem with this is it's so energy inefficient. It's really annoying to play, I find. I mean, I'm only level 33 on my gunslinger. You might actually be seeing the gameplay from my gunslinger. It might be higher by the time we get down to record this gameplay, but yeah, that's interesting. It's good that it's going to do damage, because it was effectively a cooldown that we got as part of our skill tree. So energy overrides makes our next frag grenade used after EMP discharge consume no energy. So it's going to be made feel smoother than it did, and no longer feeling starved. Yeah, you do feel starved for energy. Adrenaline probe and EMP discharge, when they were on cooldown, there was things to lower the cooldown, but even at level 33, I'm not a big fan of this one. I always prefer dirty fighting. That's probably my favourite one. Marksmanship's okay. Marksmanship, or sharpshooter, should we say, if we're talking about the gunslinger. So we'll move on to the final spec, which was lethality. Now it's virulence. Yay. Lethality sounded cooler though. Have they changed it for the gunslingers? No, they haven't. It's still dirty fighting for the gunslingers. So we're getting virulence now. So what are we getting now? We're getting the dot spread, our new passive. Again, we've discussed this before in previous videos. Corrosive grenade will now spread our corrosive dart. So we'll get our corrosive dart up, and then we'll fire off our corrosive grenade. I used to do it in the other order. I used to go corrosive grenade, corrosive dart. But anyway, if we're in a situation with AoE, we're going to get our corrosive dart off first, and then we're going to get our corrosive grenade off. So pretty easy. We're also getting lethal shot, which is effectively another dot. So also has no cooldown, and it's effectively a replacement for snipe. So it's going to be fairly similar. We're just going to get, instead of having a snipe, basically we're just going to get lethal shots. We're just going to get that one extra dot to keep up. Snipe, you use that occasionally. If series of shots was on cooldown, you tended to use snipe. Snipe was kind of used just as padding, really, just to pad out the gap between our dots, essentially. So we're getting an extra dot in there. So again, it's pretty useful. There's nothing major going on with that. It'll still be pretty much the same according to the blog. Utilities, what are we getting? We're getting 2 new utilities. We're getting a series of snares. That's going to be funny in PvP. Each shot of series of shots and penetrating blast slows the target by 20% for 3 seconds. Oh shit. It can stack up to 4 times. Oh, how hated are you going to be in PvP? Makes me want to break out the sniper for PvP, because that's going to be funny. That is going to be funny against those marauders who all they've got is their twin saber throw against you. They can't even move, can't charge to you, can't leap to you if you're in cover, of course. So that's going to be fun. We've also got crippling diversion. Diversion slows the target by 50%. Getting pretty interesting. So the sniper, what have they done to it really? There's not that many changes really, but still pissed off about that, the change to orbital strike. So we'll discuss that a bit more when we see the operative / scoundrel video. Can't believe they're taking away one of the coolest abilities in the game. I want some cleave though. I really want some cleave. I want some shotgun cleave now. Particularly with the shot, we could have knife cleave as well. Your knife can cleave as an operative, but I want some shotgun cleave at least now to make up for that. Something cool with the shotgun at least, and get rid of cover as well for the operatives, because we don't need it. Who the hell needs cover as an operative? Would be nice. I mean, they should have got rid of the explosive probe, really. Should get rid of that for the operatives, because we don't use it. And get rid of snipe as well, because we never use snipe. I mean, we don't want to use any cover abilities as an operative. The only time it was useful if we ever had to be at range, but we'll discuss that in the operative video. So that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye. And I'm off to mourn the loss of orbital strike.